golden evening to you all. Golden evening to you all. Want to welcome you here to the show to the show for today, and would like to just greet you in peace, greet you with love, and greet you, with joy in my heart today because we're here gathered on this platform via Do the Knowledge Radio
Mm-hmm.
and and the show entitled Golden Opportunity Sundays with your host, Miss Asha Rae. And I'm also joined with our sister and friend, the goddess L. Ruby Thomas, who is broadcasting live as well via her show, Black Girls Do Crypto.
Oh yeah.
And I have my mother, the goddess Candy Mayle, joining us live from Washington State in the Seattle area. I'm also accompanied by the goddess, my business partner, Nicole Sanders, here in the Atlanta, Georgia area. Um, and I am joined to my left with my sister and friend by way of Eritrea, Africa, represent, representing
Hey,
from,
hey, hey.
hey, yeah, that's the kind of energy we coming with.
Yes.
She just joined us from
uh,
Los Angeles, California, but we're here broadcasting from Atlanta, Georgia.
hmm
So
Welcome.
uh, the brother, yeah, Knowledge Born Out Loud put this platform together, and I'm grateful for everyone who could join us tonight. We have an amazing show planned for you, some insightful information that we are in really looking forward to sharing with you. And we encourage you to, grab a pen and paper, invite a friend, tell a friend, share this on your Facebook, share this on if you're listening by YouTube, like and
hmm
subscribe. If you're listening to any other platform, like, subscribe, do what you need to do, share this information. Miss Ruby, any opening comments?
Oh yeah. So just to let you know how you doing, I'm L. Ruby Thomas, also the host of one of the hostess of Collective Enlightenment. I'm also one of the trainers for Pennies to Gold and Pennies to Gold University. I just want to share with you, I am streaming this in the 800s Club. Go ahead and join on. Those who are watching this wonderful stream, don't forget to share it out. We are live from girl, Black Girls Do Crypto. So the ladies are watching live in the room right now. And trust me, I'll be taking any requests for questioning. So anything they got to say, they're going to let you know, ladies.
Okay, and
Yes, thank you.
you are here with us via Harlem, New
Yes,
York,
Harlem
in the
World,
building.
baby. Yes, and New York. New York, the safe and not crazy place. So yes, we definitely out here doing our thing from Harlem World. Like I said, people also know me as the crypto queen of Harlem, because that's what I do. I train and I uplift my people by knowledge, and that's how it works. And cryptocurrency is where it's happening, and that's what we
The
do.
place where knowledge is born.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yes. So tonight, what we have for you is a show that we entitled Currency, Consciousness, and Commitment. We're going to be
Mm,
discussing the battle for the corona. And
mm,
the battle for the corona, people may have had a slight idea that we're talking about the crown, a battle for the crown, a battle for the corona. Okay, in the midst of everything that we're going through globally, we have to um, get on the same page. We got to get on some type of same page so that we can move forward in this thing with right
hmm
consciousness and with right information and with the right type of currency, the right type of commitment, and of course, the ability to protect and preserve our crown. Okay.
That's right.
So, first things first, I just wanted to break down some information about the, etymology of the word corona and why it was selected. Why was it
Mm,
chosen? Okay. For one, in the mid 16th century, the word corona, deriving from the Latin root, it means wreath, it means crown. And it was used typically also in Rome during the 1650s as a distinguishing marker of those who were in military service, so for military servicemen. And the suffix of it, the pi root is sker, sker, which means to turn or bend. Okay, so again, we're talking about corona and the root of it all. And they say the coronavirus in particular, when you're looking at it under the microscopic scope, you can see that it's surrounded by a halo type ring, or there's like protrusions that remind them of that garland or that wreath of a crown like substance, So interesting that the name of the so-called virus is called corona. And to take it one step further, the combination of corona and virus together, we're going to get into the breakdown of the etymology of virus. And when I looked that up, I was like, oh, wow, this really makes perfect sense. The virus root is poisonous substance. Okay, a virus originally meant a poisonous substance, or in the Latin root as well. During the 14th century, it was a poison. It was a sap of plants. It was a slimy liquid, poisonous fluid in the Sanskrit, and in other words, like in the Sanskrit, it also denotes venom. Okay, and right, an agent that causes infectious disease. Okay, virus. So that's what we were discussing, coronavirus. So an infectious disease of the crown, a poisonous venom of the crown, a turning or bending of the crown. So if I want to control a people, or I want to manipulate a people, I must first come for their crown.
Of course, yes.
Right.
So just the spiritual, psychological warfare that we're experiencing right now has to be dealt with first and foremost, so that we can have an understanding and an understanding and an overstanding of what time it is and where we're at. You know what I mean? So basically, this whole experience, because we're all collectively going through this experience, is the prevention and cure for the poisoning of the mind. Okay. But it's an attack on the mind, obviously, we're just making it plain. So I just wanted to open it up with that. We're also going to talk about, the crown chakra, and then how that relates to currency, what currency is, how we can prepare to raise our consciousness, and also commit to seeing things through to the other side, into the glorious light, if I may say so.
Right.
So welcome everybody to the show, and welcome. To this conversation. We welcome your comments. We welcome your feedback on all platforms.
Absolutely. Oh, okay. Do you mind if I
reiterate?
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. Miss Candy, you go ahead.
Okay, I'd like to reiterate on that crown. Is actually located in our Pioneer region, and like you were saying, they want to attack it. And when you hear the president and his constituents speak, and they say we have to hurry up and stop this corona. We have to hurry up and stop it. We have to. What do you say? Anyway, anything along those lines. He means they're speaking in code. What he's saying is we have to hurry up and control the consciousness of these people. Hurry up and stop before, keep it going. Basically, we got to get a hold of it. Basically saying we got to get a hold of these people's mind before they wake up. To me, that's what I'm hearing in the code speaking.
I gotta agree.
So,
When you break that down and understand that the corona is, and like Sister Candy says, it is the pineal gland. Most people don't understand that we have been being led for a long time. Media all over, people being, instead of being, promoting individual thought, common sense, the ability to think originally and authentically, we've been taught to duplicate as opposed to, and assimilate, as opposed to creating, building, discovering, and learning. Still, and people goes, my daughter, who happens to be 23 years old, mentioned to me, she says, apparently she said, apparently, mommy, we're not as smart as y'all. Y'all the people who put people on the moon. We are not that bright. We just don't think like y'all do. And she's right, because for a long time, that generations they've been turned away from creativity, the ability to create and build on their own. We have a very few people, whereas the world was full of people of creators from the 50s, the 60s, and even the 70s. And I'm giving away my age, but I don't really care because I'm blessed to be here, And the fact is coming forward, we got a lot of people that got real comfortable, and they did put down the thought process, allow a lot of systems to take over and guide them to where now we are in a shift that we have run out. It's like you're on this bullet train heading in a direction, and now you need to figure out how to stop it on a dime without tearing everything apart. Something that's not likely easily done. Getting people to wake up and to really see and understand and decipher what's happening in front of them. So you kind of got to crash the system to start it all over again. And of course, if you put everybody in their little spaces, don't have them talking to each other, you can go, okay, y'all can't touch each other. You can't talk to each other. You take away the touchy feelingness. That
sound like a slave ship to me.
Yes, it do, honey. Whole new way. But we refuse. We are those who refuse to be set apart.
That's their agenda behind pushing this corona. That's basically, like you were saying, that's their agenda behind pushing the fear of this corona. Supposedly a virus, but it's subliminal. It's a different type of virus. The economy is crashed, and in order for them to bring in a new world, a new way, a new world order, as they call it, they have to use this corona as a wall, to throw people off from what's really going on and what's really going on in all their agenda that's behind their madness, of how they want to go about this. Instead of them going about it in a normal, quote unquote, way, they want to go about it in the evil, greedy, selfish way, where they never did like us in the first place. So of course we're number one, like on their list, but they want to depopulate because they feel that the world is overcrowded and it's less for them,
Exactly. Well, I gotta agree. There is an agenda here. I personally don't know what it is, but I choose not to allow that knowledge to stop me from continuing life or helping others to continue life. And that's the biggest part that we're going to play in all of this, and and in my opinion, in recapturing and owning the corona, because that's what's really important, to recapture and to re-own the corona and recognize that it's not even a virus, and that's what needs to be viral. That it's not the physical virus that's going to catch you. It's going to be the hysteria around lack of knowledge that's going to affect how we live. Yeah.
Right.
I told you it's a lot of media stuff. We talked earlier, and it was like, I can't understand what they're talking. I mean, I tell people have been calling me on the phone asking me how am I doing. I live in New York, in Harlem, and I'm thinking, what's the matter? And I don't watch the news as often. This is the thing. I'm not in the loop there. So I'm like, why are you calling me? They're like, well, apparently y'all can't go nowhere. I'm sorry. Not in my neighborhood, sweetheart. We at the stores, we seeing neighbors, checking on businesses and people and whoever's still moving. And there's no hysteria. There are no overrun hospitals, And I think what ends up happening is that we all start to connect the energy and it becomes real. So our minds begin to create, and then our mouths put it out into the universe and all become a one. They're trying to get us to be a one sound judgment. that this is what they say it is. My question
Right.
is always going to be, take a look around and say what it is. Because I'm looking at something totally different than what they've been saying on the news,
And what they're
apparently.
telling.
That part. Sister Nicole, come to the platform.
If I
Yes.
connected, a thing came across my screen saying that
Yes,
temperature
ma'am.
is too hot,
Yes,
and
ma'am, I'm here.
I don't know
On your
what that's
phone?
about.
In your
Yeah,
phone? It may be, are
high
you plugged in?
temperature detector be turned off
Yeah.
for your safety.
Oh
Never seen
no.
that.
It,
Never seen that.
her battery is getting hot. That's your battery.
Okay.
Is your phone warm? I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I also run a tech company, so I take care of people's technology as well. That's what that would
Yeah.
be. So yeah, if you're holding it and it feels really hot, you might either want to pull it close to a cool, like something to cool it, a fan or something, or you may need to unplug it if it's charging right now as well. It could cool down some.
No, it's not. It's not charging, and it just it just came
You
up
want her to
there.
be
I never
safe.
seen that notification.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
definitely be careful. There's going to be some type of, warfare when you're trying to deliver a message, striving to deliver a message, but we're going to keep pressing
Everyone
forward.
sounds distorted.
Still going.
Oh, Nicole, you were going to chime
Yes,
in?
I'm here.
Oh,
I would have to
yes.
agree with you ladies. It's definitely a warfare against us spiritually, financially, all of the above. I don't know what it is and what it isn't, or what I'm going to be. I just want to get the message out to my people to be prepared for
Mhm.
whatever it may be. Whatever it may be.
Thank you. Exactly. Preparation, and they say, oh, a paper preparation. What is it? An ounce of preparation beats a
Social.
pound of cure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that used to be a saying. That has to be a reality
Prevention.
for people to truly survive. Because I would hate to tell people, but this is global reset. This is what it looks like.
Right.
That thing that they talk
Right.
about. This is what it looks like. And how do we prepare? There's several things. First thing we have to do, and I love that Sister Asha is a spiritual person the way she is, because it reminds me that we all are spiritual beings. She's a reminder that while we in the work of doing this, that we all are spiritual beings first. And how do we connect? This conversation always gets me back into being able to be productive. I've always noticed that whenever we interact, that's that energy. That's that person that reminds me that there's a spiritual being in here that has power and has been connected to the Most High. And everything I'm doing has been set down already. So I've been blessed with being the being or the instrument. And so has everyone else. Everyone plays a part in a role.
I'd like to add to that.
Yeah. Please do, Mama.
That is the most powerful thing. Just having this human experience in our spiritual bodies, spiritual beings having a human experience, during this time is the time that we came for. You know what I mean? Like, if you're out there and you're hearing and you're even on this stream, out of all these platforms, something drew you here. Oh my, you know what I'm saying? You're in the right place at the right time to hear a relevant message. And, somebody might say, what are your credentials, or what are your backgrounds, or what gives you the authority or the qualification or whatever? Spirit sent me. You know what I'm saying? Spirit sent us. Spirit ordered this, the collective unity among these goddesses to bring some information along with the God that enabled us to combine our efforts, and just combine our spirit for such a time as this. Like, I'm talking to people of every denomination, every background, every, you know what I'm saying, regardless of affiliation. I'm talking to you. We're talking to you tonight, like, about the raising of a consciousness, the raising of our spirit man, the raising of your highest self, the protection of your crown. Okay. Again, back to that. So if you don't look at what's going on from a spiritual aspect first, you could be easily deceived and led astray by the propaganda, by all of the fear mongering, by all of the media outlets that are on one accord. They're doing their thing, to implement an agenda. As Sister Ruby had mentioned, a global reset. So being that they have an agenda, we also must have an agenda, and it must be clear. And so that's the reason for this show tonight. We hoping that you are willing to take notes and share this discussion amongst those that you like and love and care about. Because if there's no unity of mind, first of all, we will experience more strife than necessary. Okay, because like if we've got people running out and causing chaos because of their thought process, you know what I mean? Then we causing a hindrance to the overall production of advancement or of elevation, like we discussed, And then in regards to the currency, I was hoping that Nicole could break down what currency is, or you, Sister Ruby, about currency, And so I want to ask that you guys to do that, and also again, please take notes, because the collectiveness that we have right now and the opportunity that we have to even be on a platform speaking, we can't take for granted. And so you may not ever hear this information again, and we're just coming by to pass a message. You could take it or leave it alone, but I pray, and it is my goal and our intention that it would be uplifting, encouraging, and insightful so that you can act upon it immediately.
That's right. Well, I don't mind. Yeah, I got what you were saying about the currency. And I thank you for that. But now I'm going to be really honest. It is what I do. Okay. I teach people about different kinds of currency. So it's not just cryptocurrency. But Miss Nicole, I want to know, talk to me, because this is a sister I get into this conversation about with often. I would like for you to, if you wouldn't mind starting, because you had some points that I was really excited about that we talked about. And I want to just give a moment to just speak on that particular subject matter to start.
Okay, so currency, that's what we're talking about here, right?
Yes, my dear.
Okay, so currency is basically a medium of exchange for goods and services. So currency can be whatever I say I want it to be. I can say, hey, Miss Ruby, I like your beads. I'll exchange you your beads for my stones. Well, in our terms, currency is used for goods and services. So the US dollar, the yen, the euro, that's considered currency. Gold, would you say that would be considered currency, lady?
I would definitely. Definitely.
Bitcoin,
Absolutely.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, currency.
Absolutely.
We use it as a medium of exchange for goods and services. So I don't know, in my eyes, currency could be whatever we have our faith in to be worth something to us.
Okay, and also to take that a little further, that actually makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to take that a little further. It's not only what we deem of value, it's also what is agreed upon others that has value. Because remember, currency has to flow.
Right.
It means current. It's like the current, literally, like we see in the water. It's a current. It has to flow. And so it has to flow to and from in order to be of value. Get what I'm saying? You can't create a wave without that current. And it's always back and forth, And so with that given, I have to I'm going to connect on to what she said by explaining that we have given power. What's currency to myself and herself may be different than what is given power by another entity. So there's several different kinds of currency. There is controlled currency and there's uncontrolled currency. In some small towns that do not have banks, you will find that a chicken is currency for carrots. for eggs, for bread and goods and services. Maybe you have people who will who will do farming for you just to be able to take home a bag of groceries. See,
That's right.
we the people, we the people started all of this. It was a barter system. It was
That's
a
right.
give and take before we even started looking at gold and pebbles and stones and stuff to call of value. Before all of that came of value, it was just us and what we could offer. And that's really what it is. It's energy given for other energy with an agreed value,
I love it.
you know? And that's
Eh,
something we've forgotten as people.
So we can't let this currency, like for one, it's just important to say that uh,
Mhm.
currency should not control us. You know what I mean?
Thank
Like
you.
a lot,
Right. That's
the
right.
you feel me? Like the acquiring of currency, as well as the loss of currency, it should not control you. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it can propel you to think about that value that that they mentioned. You know, like what is of value to you, and then also let us now establish what will be of value of us to in the future.
Well,
You know,
that's right.
what are we gonna
Right.
allow to be the currency of the future? And for one
Hmm.
thing, as you can see, we have a limited control in this realm, you know, in regards to the currency. Um,
Hmm.
so we're going to utilize what's been established, but for our advantage, you know.
Hmm.
So
No.
if indeed cryptocurrency is
Hmm.
now the currency, and if gold is the currency, along with silver and other things that will be deemed valuable, then we should be moving in the direction to obtain those things, but not to our detriment. You know,
Exactly. Yes.
Yep. Yes, I would
Also,
agree.
and but when you also think about, most people they don't have a value for it. They don't understand it, therefore they don't have a value for it. This is why I always come back to the lack of knowledge always leaves us at a loss. What we don't understand, we shy from, we call names or we
it
make
can
things
hurt us.
up. Said it, yes,
Mm-hmm.
and it can. And actually, no, it doesn't just can. It has and will continue to do that.
Come on
The
now.
That's
pe-
right.
the people that get now, as people, if we gain the knowledge, we then govern. Because it's
That's
always
right.
going to be the ones that own, the ones that govern the finances of any society are the rulers. That's who runs everything. And if you are the one that's holding the finances and you're
Come on.
governing the finances as the individuals, you govern. The
Okay, let's
people
talk
get
about
back
that.
to governing.
Let's talk.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that. That's well said,
Absolutely.
and I thank you for sharing that, Sister Ruby, because
Hmm.
that brings me to the point about this coronavirus stimulus package.
Hmm. I thought
Oh,
you was going there, girl.
oh,
Uh-huh. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I know people right now may be getting excited about, like, seriously, these checks supposedly coming in the mail and things like that, and they're getting excited about the currency and what they may be able to gain from this what am I trying to say? Downfall, like this downfall of this current currency system. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
so we could go through the history and talk about how there is a need for change. Like a lot
Yeah.
of people don't even understand what this is, what it's about, like what is the whole damn thing about? You know what
About.
I'm saying?
Yeah. You
And
can
really
feel
it's
it, but you just don't know.
right.
correct.
Yeah.
And we're not knocking anybody or anything because I never was an expert on the subject. Let me just make that plain. You know,
Hmm.
I was never an
Agree.
expert on the subject. However, we've had to get sharpened over these years and get with the times and understand, like, in order to progress and in order to keep moving forward, we're going to have to gain some new knowledge and information and insight and open ourselves up to govern, because that really just hit home so hard when you said those that
Hmm.
control the currency control, period.
That's
Yep.
You know what
They're
I'm
true.
they're the
saying?
power.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So we've been under a debt system, a debtor system that has kept the people enslaved financially to
Hmm.
going to work for 40 years or more. You know what I'm saying? Like from the time that you could even fresh out of high school, you know what I'm saying, like a half-ass education or whatever, you're eligible to work. You can work while you're in school. You can be 14 years old this day in this country, in the U.S., United States. And so the most important thing that this particular system upholds is working, like working, slaving for the dollar, for the dollar, which was nothing more than a debt note lent out to the powers that be to circulate and circulate and circulate and never truly really ascertain anything of wealth, or present or offer anything of wealth, but just the illusion of wealth or the illusion of security and comfort. Because as you see, many people are being affected by the collapse, by this collapse of this financial system.
People who thought they were safe.
Yeah, and we've been trying to reach out. We've been trying to dial 911 on the phone line, like, hey, or, on the social media, like, hey, pay attention. There's a shift going on. There's a change happening. There's a crumbling of this monetary system. Get yourself in position. Get yourself, ready.
Like your feet. Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah.
And so don't be ashamed. Or I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I just want to finish this thought and saying, like, just because you don't have to fear what you don't know, but you do have to take the time to learn what you don't know before you speak against it ill, speak ill of what you don't even know or understand, or shun that which you don't know or understand, because it could be the very thing that's going to save you. And in fact, I can speak so emphatically and tell you that your understanding of currency is part of what is going to save you in these times. Because first of all, the currency must be consciousness, like a raising of your vibration, a raising of your understanding, so you can get information.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're going to have to get the currency that will put you in a better position than being subject to the rulers that be, if you don't have the currency needed to move around freely.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
And so
I'm sorry, you just speaking power to me right now, because that's the one thing why I created a program called Pennies to Gold, because I know how empowered I became when I got a handle. I got to do something that meant I was making difference with my finances. I know I want that feeling for other people. I want people to speak about finances with confidence. And that's even if you just got a couple of pennies.
Okay.
To speak with confidence that you have and you will have more. You know what I'm saying? That this is just the beginning. Because once you have the knowledge, it's almost like what you know, no one could take away from you. But you got to be, it's an action. And that's what I said. I know, Miss Nicole, we done had some good conversations, lady, because we understand the feeling of someone that says, thank you so much. I didn't understand that. I tried and I practiced it, and now I got it. And then they're like walking you through it, and you're like, that's what you want. You don't want a bunch of robots following instructions. You want a bunch of people that say, I got it. I got it. And now I got me. That's called teach a man to fish. Because once he fish, he get his own style. You know what I'm saying? He feed his own family. Then he can go teach his family, and they eat for a generation and generations forward. Exactly. I don't know how long you're on here for, but I definitely appreciate your time, and I do appreciate this. Oh my God, I love this. I love this so much. This conversation is so uplifting and just filling to my soul. It really is.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
It really is.
I'm grateful to be here. And I appreciate you both as well.
Sure, Mama.
Okay. Miss Ruby, so I wanted to talk about the fact that just want to kind of share some information with the people, and so that you guys can take some notes on some concrete things to just give you some food for thought. And then we're going to talk about solutions. So I'm not here to present the problem per se, but I just want to educate and give information so that people can dissect it and also check, reference these things for themselves, do the research for themselves.
That's right.
You have to know where to start looking. So I just hope to, give some helpful information. Okay. What we have seen since February is between 25 to 40 trillion dollars loss of profits across the globe. 25 to 40 trillion dollars loss of profits since February, and this is just March. You know, um, so that is worse than during the Great Depression, at the lowest point of the Great Depression as far as loss, economic loss. So if you
Mm-hmm.
want to understand the time about where we're at, financially and economically, globally speaking, we're
Mm.
experiencing loss greater than what was at the lowest point of the Great Depression. So if they're telling you that, oh, everything's fine, everything's okay, just go back inside and close your door and sit down and, you feel me, grab some tissue and, you know what I'm talking about, get you some hand sanitizer and
Right,
Mm-mm.
and just wash this
Lord.
away.
right.
Just wash it
So
all away.
can I remind people that like
Okay,
10
so
years ago we had another illness in the corona family
Come
that
on.
pretty much came out of China too. See, I keep telling everybody every 10 years we get this. Depending on how old you are, the rope a dope still work. So every time we turn around, we got some big thing. The government gets all focused. This is the first time we've gone this far. You know why? Because the debt level is bigger
Okay,
and
it's
it's more
over.
affected all over the world. So now they need to make a focus that we could turn around this way while they go do their stuff this way. So put you in your apartment
right.
so we could
Welcome
go
back, Miss
remake the
Mayle.
financial system. Yes,
Right.
go get some
Okay,
tissue and
so
hand sanitizer, please.
okay, so
Y'all go
listen
ahead.
at this.
Hey, welcome back,
So
Mama Candy.
hey, Mama
Hi.
Candy. Okay, so
Welcome back, brother Knowledge.
Yes.
I've been on for about
my
5 minutes.
dad
I
was born
caught some of
during
it.
the Great Depression, right? He told me that as far as he was born in 1933, 33. Okay,
Mm.
so he
God bless
told
her.
me that it was the worst time. God bless his soul that he can, really remember even until he was about 13 or 14 years old. So that's
Mm.
like 13, 14 years later, and things are
Mm.
still trying to get back to normal, right? What we call
We call
normal,
it normal. Mm-hmm.
right? Okay, so if people that something is wrong, that this is like the times of the Great Depression. So why are you not worried? Did you
Mm-hmm.
not read about it? Did you not do your research on what went on during those times? You don't have a grandmother or a grandfather that told you, "Oh, baby, this is bad, baby."
Uh-huh.
Not because of a virus, not because of a virus, but because of
Mm-hmm.
your pocket. Because of your
Exactly.
pocket
And dependency. That's the other thing.
and
The
dependency.
levels of dependency are so much higher. You know why I can say the first depression was so much worse? There were no health programs. It was you
You're right.
provided for yourself or
You're
not,
right.
or nothing.
You're right.
People, there were naked, dirty children on the street. There were families who were
Yep.
sick. There were elders, there were children all over. There was no helps program. Roosevelt came up with that program shortly after because they realized that the government had to do something. This is when our education system became available.
Hmm.
He got businesses to get together because where was you getting the money from? Government didn't have money to put into creating schools and meals programs. They had to come from somewhere.
That's
So
right.
when you start giving out food resources, you also have a requirement to be met. So every care program has a purpose behind it. Don't get it twisted. There's a
Right.
reason behind the care. When they give you that check, it comes with something.
Come on now.
Right.
You
That's
understand?
right.
So we got to forget. We get into this thing where we done got comfortable with thinking that the government has been giving us something for nothing. To where I'm
Oh,
getting emails of people telling
What
me,
what
fill
was
out
that
your
we was talking?
census.
About
Fill out your census so they can know where to send your check.
Uh-oh.
Emails, okay? And I'm like,
yeah,
have you lost it your mind?
Wait, hold on though.
okay,
We're
yeah.
laughing. Nicole, what?
So what was that? What you called it earlier, Miss Ruby? The old Ruba.
Rope a dope.
No, yeah, the rope a dope.
The rope
Exactly.
dope. The rope
Hmm.
dope. The rope dope. Mm-hmm.
Like
Go ahead and
one,
fill out
two.
the census. That's right.
Don't forget to fill out your census. They will know where to send your check.
Listen,
What?
right there, that's scary though. Like we're laughing, and I'm not saying that, I'm just saying
No,
like
it's not ha ha. That's sad.
yeah, it's a sad laugh. Like it's just like a laugh of disbelief because what we're saying is, how could we have thought that we had a friend in the government? How could you have thought you
Right.
had a friend or a protector in the
We
government of the ones that enslaved you, literally? I mean,
right
like, and I truly just don't understand how we
because
cannot see.
now, Miss Asha, I could only tell you of this experience just from listening to people, and I actually talked to a lot of elders. There's folks that actually are like they still. I mean, there's people that don't know that the dollar's not backed by gold, which is disturbing.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
Okay, there's people who still think that the reserve actually is a reserve that would put out funding, like real funds, for us. They still
Mm.
think that the reserve has anything to do with the government. But that's knowledge you have to seek. And that's the one thing. I tell people, if you want to know, I don't speak, I don't just speak to speak. I tell you where to find it. I want you to go to Internal Revenue's website. I want you to go ahead and take a look in your IRS. Check out their website. Okay, look on your dollar bills and take a look and see what it's backed by. I don't lie and I don't make stuff up. I just go look at the facts and then I make choices and then I can share with you from reality. And
Okay.
Exactly.
that's what we do. That's it.
Well, the important part is to first of all understand the reality, and like you said, there has to be some type of desire to get the truth. You know what I mean? And so
Hmm.
we have been presented with the truth, and it was up to each and every single one of us to dig deeper or to stay asleep. Like to stay in a comfort zone of familiarity and of supposed protection, like we talked about, and supposed security. Like let's talk
Hmm.
about social security. Let's talk about pension. Let's talk about
Mm,
401k.
mm,
Let's talk
mm.
about job security and
Good
longevity.
Lord.
You got a good job. You don't have nothing to worry about, right? You don't got nothing to even worry
Okay.
about. You've been on the job 20 years. You top of the line. You up there with the CEOs. You guys are best friends. You shake hands. Where your ass at right now? Sitting down, just like the rest of us. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
But
So
behind this quarantine.
yes. So what I'm saying is, you can never get too comfortable in a place that is not your home and it's not your own. You don't own it. You don't run nothing. You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to recall the people back to their original state of being. Back to a sensible place mentally and spiritually where you can act accordingly. And so this is kind of like um, it's just a reminder. It's just a reminder, but that this is a battle for the corona, okay?
That's
And so
right. Yes.
if you're just now joining us, we want to welcome you to the show. We want to tell you that we're discussing what the current state of being is. And we're
Mm,
talking about we are in the battle for the corona.
that's
Corona
right.
means crown. Corona means your mind. It means the placement of your spiritual essence in your pineal gland they've been secretly infiltrating and trying to attack from the moment you were born. And before you were even born, there was electromagnetic waves, there was chemical warfare being, you were exposed to chemical warfare, biological weapons of destruction, anything and everything, food, the poisoning of your food and of your water, you know what I'm saying, of the
Hmm.
very plant life itself. And so, like, yes, with all that going on, don't you think that we should be trying to figure out a solution?
Hmm.
So,
Well,
so
solution.
Ma'am.
Go ahead, Mama.
solution.
Don't give it to him.
Yes. I want to start. Mom, you got something that you want to share right now? Because the thing that I'm going to cover next is just getting back to the crown chakra, and then we can go anywhere y'all want to go from there.
Um, I kind of missed what you guys, were touching on dealing with this phone, so trying to play catch up.
Got you. Just some
But
solutions.
pretty much, yeah, any solutions. Well, like you
Mm,
said, the only thing we can do is use our corona. Stay alert. Be mindful of what we're putting in our bodies, in our system. And always use discernment. Don't just listen and
mhm.
take what you hear, which I know none of us here do that. I can just tell by speaking with you guys that we're all mindful, we're all alert, but I just wish that it was more of us. You know what I'm saying? That we are waking up, but it's slowly but surely. But right now is the time. It's like now or never. You know,
That's right.
it's like
That's
it's
right.
very crucial. A lot of people they can't even begin to wrap their minds, begin to fathom what is actually taking place.
Mm,
All they spoke
Mhm.
on is that virus, that flu like virus. But like we were saying, it's all subliminal. It's way deeper than that.
Yeah, it is.
But
That is true.
I don't know.
Thank you for
There's just
that.
so much going on. It's just there's moments of speechlessness where all you can do is just meditate on try to keep your mind focused on the good of it. What's good is in store for us. What is going to be
Mhm.
the outcome
for
for
us,
us.
That's
You know.
right. That's right.
Nicole, Mama, thank you so much for saying that and bring that up.
Thank you.
Nicole, were you going to say something?
No, no, no. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just listening to Mama
Okay,
Kathy.
Mhm.
okay, that's
All
Mama,
right.
and that's my blood. That's my blood mother. I just give honor and I give thanks that she uh, is woke and she is the loving being that she is able to instill in
Yes.
me, knowledge and right information and wisdom to get us through these times, and like the most important thing that she gave me and that we haven't mentioned yet in this conversation is the power to love. You know, the power to love comes from that spiritual being within all of us. When we opened the show, we talked about we are
Mhm.
spiritual beings having a human experience,
That's
and
right.
that can be very trying. That can be very difficult. That can be very perplexing. You know what I mean? Because you're looking at a perceived reality that's been painted for you. That has been orchestrated for you, and you have to kind of find your way out. Like, so we talked about the matrix, and like this truly is a matrix, like a set design system that
That's
works
right.
because of the implement, like the things that have been implemented over the years. Like this is years and years, hundreds, maybe even
Hundreds of
thousands of
years.
years in the making. Like
Mhm.
I'm talking about in both realms. So like even myself, like I'll be wondering which way do I want to go? Like which way do I want to take this conversation? Like I want
That's
to
right.
talk to you. I want to talk to your spirit, but I want to also address what you see in the physical, like in the physical realm, in this
Right.
body, in this, it, you know. So again, let me break down the crown chakra, what we're battling for. Okay. So please,
Okay.
I encourage you to take some notes real quick. The crown chakra, um, when we talk about chakras, that's just a spiritual center of power in the human body. It's an energy force that controls um, our attitude, our responses, our mentality, our emotions, and our creativity and our sensitivity to the universe or to God or to the source or to your spirit man or to Jesus or to Buddha, whoever it is or whatever it is that you connect with and you understand spiritually, that will take you higher into your highest purity of love. Okay. So that's the seventh chakra, which is at the top of the head, or some may say, right in close correlation with that is the pineal gland, um, and those two just like right with each other. But the purpose of the chakra, the crown chakra, is of knowing, connection to spirit or universe. And if it's balanced, when balanced, you feel clear spiritually, you feel unity, wisdom, open mindedness, peaceful, connected to the universe or God or spirit, and which you have a strong nervous system, meaning that you can sense things, you can still feel. And what's been under attack is our crown chakra, because that is the center of our divine connection. You know what I mean? Like where we have to get back to our divine selves. But if they can oppress and suppress the divine nature of every being, then they can more easily control us. And that's been the whole war. You know, it's like to make us dull in that area. You know, so there's fluoride in the toothpaste, there's fluoride in the water, there's fluoride in chemicals and all these things that are numbing and dumbing and calcifying the pineal gland, you know, taking away its ability to have receptiveness. It's like a receiver to receive divine messages. Huh?
I'm sorry, electromagnetic energy.
Yes.
These things, but we have to use, you know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is. They know what they're doing, like you're saying. There's a method to their madness. They know exactly what everything that they do is strategically planned for evil, for harm. You know why? You know, you're going to create something that's going to help people. But we're not talking about human beings here. I don't know what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, we know what we're dealing with. We're dealing with principles and you know, principalities and powers in dark places, wickedness in high and low places. You know, we can go biblical. We can go any kind of which way you want to slice it. You know what I'm saying? We can go scientific. However you want to look at it. But you better know. You better know there's a warfare and there is a war going on, and that you can't just sit back and not do anything. So what I want to say, this is the flip side, you guys. When that crown chakra is unbalanced, you feel mental disorders, or you may acquire mental disorders. You feel fear. You feel materialistic. You feel that your memory is at a loss. You know, you have challenges with memory. You have learning problems. You have a sense of apathy. You feel broken and in spiritual crisis. So if that does not describe the kind of overall condition of the people today, I don't know what does. You know what I mean? It's an unbalanced crown chakra that's causing the things that we see. You know what I mean? Like greed, for instance. What would cause the person to feel greedy in an abundant universe like this? What would cause somebody to feel fear when, you know, the Creator has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind? You know, like that's just okay. And lastly, apathy. Apathy is indifference. There's people that are watching right now that are saying, "So what?" or like, "I don't care," or "What am I supposed to do about it?" or you know, apathetic. You know what I mean? Meaning like apathy is the opposite of love. When you really break it down, when you really break that thing down, apathy is lack of love. Because if you don't feel anymore, and you don't have a compassion or a concern for your fellow human being, or especially your brother and your sister, something is seriously wrong. Okay.
Well,
so
can I actually add something to that? But the word apathy. All right. I just want to offer one thing. I realized one thing as I began to mature and become wiser. Apathy actually falls in the line of love. People don't recognize that there's only one emotion that we have. There's really only one emotion, and that is love. That is all there is love. There are different degrees of love, and people tend to forget that. Because without love, nothing else can come to. Fear, passion, anger, apathy is all, it all comes from the same source. It's love. It's not even a lack of, because you need, love is the only energy that can create. It creates everything we feel, whether your fear comes from love, not a lack of, it comes from a loss of love. A fear is a loss of love. Apathy, it is not the lack of love, it is the fear of not being returned it. So you pull away from, because you love, that fear not being returned. Get what I'm saying? You got to have something to get to nothing. And that's the weirdest thing. We always look at it as a loss. God did not, my creator didn't create loss. Creation is something, and something has to continue to create something.
I know that's right.
And that's just my offering. I'm sorry. I recognize that. I said, anytime I've been upset at somebody, it had to do with something in myself. And it always came from love, a fear of a loss, a fear of a lack. And fear itself is love, because
That's
you don't
powerful.
want to lose it. You don't. God created all these little loving beings that go through experiences and then change that process along the way.
That is so perfect, and it brings me to this point here. And that's wisdom speaking. You know what I mean? Like, I really appreciate that contribution. You know, what I was gonna say is, come under here, come around, please.
Hey, baby.
Excuse me, that's my daughter. But what I was saying is that what's revealed by the balance of the crown chakra is oneness to the source, is oneness to the creator, oneness with the universe and your higher self, is faith, awareness, which consciousness, you know, enlightenment, which gives you the ability to change and make decisions, make proper choices. Vision is restored when the crown chakra is balanced. And without vision, you know, the people perish. Openness, like openness to receive, and there again is the receptivity to receive, like a divine download, you know, from the creator, from the ancestors, from the angels, you know, from the spirit guides, however you want to see it, okay?
That's right.
And what comes forth also is wisdom, and with wisdom comes the ability to surrender. So surrender to love, you know. So you guys were looking for a solution. We all are looking for a solution, and the primary answer is love. But how does love operate? Love protects that which it loves, right?
That's right.
Love will defend that which is dear to it, right?
Every time.
And so, like, for one thing, because we believe that we are divine creations, because we know that we're here on a mission to uplift fallen humanity, we surrender to that power of love, and we know that we can make change. And it's going to start with economic empowerment after we got our spirit together. You know what I mean? And economic development means that we can now lay hold of these treasures that have been stored up. You know what I'm saying? They say the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. This is the time right now that you're seeing. This is what we're looking at. Speaking of a global reset, we're dealing with a currency. We're dealing with a currency that no longer has value. You know, we're dealing, and it's plain to see, because if they can inject $2 trillion into the United States alone, with no backing, no natural resource, no nothing that can be of weightier value, you know, or something to actually really exchange it for, then that just lets you know that it's paper. It's pure paper. And that lets you know that it can be manipulated, and it can be whatever they want it to be.
That's right.
Controlled. So, like, are you going to risk your life and your health and your family and your future and your divine purpose on this earth for a piece of paper?
I'm not.
Or are you going to shift? Okay, neither will I. And are you going to shift when the time is before you into a better way of life? So what's on the table now is cryptocurrency, which is digital, and it's blockchain, which means that it's decentralized, not controlled by these powers that be, but controlled by the people.
There you go.
And I saw an article today on Bitcoin.com, BitcoinNews.com, or I believe that's the right information. Okay, that said you can't shut down Bitcoin. You know, you can't turn that off. You can't quarantine Bitcoin.
Has no master. Okay. There ain't no government.
You know, right? So let's get wise and let's get up on this. Like, so while it's lower than it has ever been, we have to get us some. And then what we do with that?
Thank you.
Go ahead. Yeah. What we do with that is
go ahead.
Is get the supreme currency of the land, which is then gold.
God's, that's like God's money. There you go.
Okay, so
God's
we're gonna
money.
get back. We're gonna get back to our royalty and the rulers that we come from in Africa and all around the world had gold. All the rulers and the powers that be.
We are the natives of this.
Come on, and the
You
wealthy
gotta
ones.
build nations on gold. You can't build nations on paper.
Correct.
Sure can.
And so we've been under the jurisdiction of another man's currency. You know what I'm saying? So like now we've got to get back to a divine and royal currency, but we got to use our resources. So that's where the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency comes into play, because you can get more for your money, quote unquote money, you know, by utilizing these platforms and knowing which way to go about it. And if you need help, you got to be unprideful and you have to be humble enough to say, I don't understand, right?
Yes.
Because the Lord knows I've been having to call on Nicole and Ruby and, you know, these brilliant sisters, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get the gist of it and I understand, but I'm, like I said, I never knew nothing about this, just like most of you out there. You know, we never knew about the credit card before it came out. We never knew that we could exchange currency or that we could receive money on PayPal, Cash App, Facebook, you know what I'm saying? Or any of that. But you took a chance, right?
What if I told you didn't have to take a chance? See, my thing
let's talk about it.
The thing is I tell people, like we said, we suffer for lack of knowledge. And I'm going to just give you a little something to run on. Ain't none of this hidden. Bitcoin.com has all of this written out. Why Bitcoin is your best shot to go forward. So if banks and governmental entities are jumping in and they're buying up billions of dollars because they know that they're going to be making trillions when the next activity takes place on Bitcoin, all already written into the papers and already has started happening. See, our problem is we don't know how to share. Well, baby, let me share something with you now. I and a few of my big mouth friends know how to share that. Okay, and we do on a regular basis. Okay, you see, that's my other big mouth mama up there, Miss Nicole. We know how to share what's to come and why it's happening. You just got to be open to hearing and taking it in for self as common sense. That's when you're going to have to start opening up that chakra. That's when you access the chakra, so that you know that this, if you get that divine what is it? It's a divine agreement from the information to the confirmation. That's what you need. That's the only reason why we speak it. I don't speak it to prove nothing. I say, okay, my job in this particular process is to make sure you heard it, so that when you go to your divine, you get the confirmation. Because I got my confirmation.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna give you the information and you take what you will and do with it.
Thank you.
Right. And that's a blessing in and of itself. First of all, let me say that is a real fortunate thing for those of you who do have information to share it and not to hoard it. You know what I mean? Because that's been the backwards thinking of our oppressors. You know, that you have to hold everything and control everything, and that you can't share with nobody because you're afraid that they might get something.
Crazy, ain't it?
Yes.
I'm afraid that you're going to get two. So I'm going to keep it all of myself. You know, the sad part about it is it cuts yours in half. What you keep for yourself lessens what you have. The more you share, the more you grow. It's a principle of the universe. You have to give before you can ever receive. And the more you give, the more you receive.
That's right.
Yes.
And it just happens. That's right. The more, and I'm like, I've connected myself. I don't know about the ladies here because we don't get in people's pocket. We don't do that. But I can tell you right now, I will give my sisters all that I can, and I do this. That's why, like I said, we're right now live on Black Girls Do Crypto, and these are women who have connected to committed and in action, not just conversation. We don't just talk about it. We actually have a platform where we put it in place, and we're actually building finances as a community because we learned that until we give unto those who may not those who need, but those who seek. It's not about the need. It's about the desire. to have for self. I always look for those who have a desire to have and do more for self. I'm not looking for the needy. I'm definitely looking for the greedy of knowledge. And that's it. Be ready to walk, because the sister ain't playing. I only walk with those who are moving. And that's how I learn. I learn from my elders. Wisdom doesn't come unto you by being imparted by accident. I got this on purpose. My grandmother was serious when she sat my tail down. She said, look, I ain't gonna be here forever. So let me tell you some things. And that was it. Because when she's gone, it's all up to me how I live this life.
That's right. And
I
how
have
you
a choice.
use that knowledge that she gave.
Thank you, Miss Nicole. Thank you.
Yes.
So with my children, I do my very best not to, I'm not my child's friend, and I remind her that I'm your mother. I'm your mom. I'm the best thing that ever happened to your life, because I will be with you no matter here or there. Believe me. And I will always have your back. This is not a friendship thing. And so with my young adult women that I have, not children, remind myself.
What's up, Prophet?
Oh, is that going again? But
Come, I wanted you to call
I
me
make
back.
it my
I'll call you
point
back in about an hour.
to, it's
coming home,
echoing,
right?
guys. It's echoing. Asha, we can hear you.
Excuse me. Sorry about that, y'all.
You there? I don't think she
I
knows
am.
you
My
can hear her.
apologies.
It's all right.
Y'all can hear me now, right?
Yes, we can hear you now, my love.
My apologies. Sorry, y'all.
Okay.
That was my daughter.
Hello, beautiful. Well, I just wanted to complete with, I take it, I realized that because my mother, the way my mom and my grandmother raised me, they would share and repeat a lot of things. So I literally live that in my spirit every day. I learn from it continuously. And so teaching my daughter, what I try not to do is I don't push it in. I actually offer it as common sense. And see how she feels with it, how she takes it. They're like, oh God, here we go again. I'm like, no problem, as long as you heard it, I'm cool. Of course, if somebody else say it, it's like gospel. As soon as someone else says it's gospel.
Okay. Exactly.
Well, pardon me. I want to add to that.
Yeah, go ahead, baby girl.
I'm sorry. This is all that this is. This is a love offering. This is an offering of knowledge and information, and what you do with it is completely up to you. Again, we're no authority except by the authority that we came, which is of love.
That's right.
And if you could receive that, then I believe you could receive a whole lot. And I believe that you will certainly position yourself in this coming, global system. It's going to be a new system. It's going to be a new way of life, a new way of doing things. And there's only two sides that you can stand on, though. One being that of the former, and it will still be controlled by the former powers that be.
That's right.
And the new being that which is controlled by your highest self, by your God, by your creator, by the one collective energy that is, the source of all things that has brought us to this point of reckoning, so that we can have a new reality, so that we can have what our ancestors died for, so that we can have what they said we could never have. You know what I'm saying? Like what they thought that we would never wake up from. You know what I'm saying? Like a death and a slumber and a destruction of our very own selves, in conjunction with the warfare that has already been waged upon us. So, we have to make up our mind, though, which are you going to serve? Even though we're talking about getting money or getting currency or whatever, we can never make money our God. We can never make money or currency our purpose. Yeah. Right. And so you got to remember, and that's what we're being confronted with. You're being confronted again with the battle for your corona, the battle for your mind. You have to be able to tap in and to think and to remind yourself of the divine energy that you are and the divine purpose that you have. And money or currency is simply a tool. Don't ever let it be the thing that controls you.
That's right.
You control it. You know what I mean? And you delegate and direct which way it shall go. And because you can do that, you can affect the reality that you see, you know?
That's right.
How do you think everything came into being? It was because those people had the resources to do it, right? They had the mind and they had the plan to do it. So we're calling upon all the warriors. We're calling upon all the spiritual beings, the light workers, the healers. You know what I'm saying? The griots, the oracles to rise up and to speak up and to speak now, and or forever hold your peace. Because you know what? The time like this is never going to be repeated like this in this manner. And they're going to say the ancestors and the gods or whatever, they're going to say, where were you? I gave you a part to play.
I know. Exactly.
Right?
See, the problem is some of these people have gotten so used to protecting themselves that they forgot that their whole life and purpose was to fight the good fight and win. And you have to be willing to be lost to the fight in order for you to win. See, the one without anything with the least to lose and the greatest to gain by giving it all, it's not until you give it that your life's purpose is seen.
Right.
See, if you are one of those who have been chosen amongst that has been either, where you're supposed to be, if you stay hidden, so does the cause and the purpose. There comes a time when you have to be called on, and you have to hear the calling and then heed and walk to it. And people don't get it.
Right.
Anytime, every battle for every battle that you deal with, every warrior is not going to show up on the field at the same time.
That's right.
But you have a particular time when you are being called. You have to know and be able to acknowledge it. And then you have to move. And I know fear will come into play. But you have to remember, if you're in fear, that means you've been called. That's when the fear comes in. If you're in fear, it's when you've been called. And that's when you have to do it anyway.
Do it anyway. And let me just say one small thing. The love that you have should overtake the fear you're experiencing. And we're going to be able to look fear in the face and say, we still here. We're moving forward. What we have, the objective is far more important than the feeling I'm feeling is, how it's just false evidence appearing real. So that's the whole basis of the reality that we've been living is false evidence appearing real. It's a fear-based society.
Right.
9 times out of 10, we were brought up in a fear-based religion. I ain't gonna go that deep, but damn.
I was about to say that's a whole nother show, woman. Start me up now.
Mother, you want to say something?
Mama, you okay?
Yeah, my phone is having technical difficulties again, so I wanted to just say my piece before I clock out.
Please do.
But I'm sorry. So, back to love, like you were saying, that's why we're on here. So for anyone that's listening or watching, I hope that they could take something away from here. We're on here for love. And this is why I joined Facebook in the first place, out of love of, what I'm saying? To spread the word, to spread the news, to share things, share knowledge, share wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, understanding, because I'd rather live in fear, like you guys are saying. Fear can be a crippler, but and fear will come into place when you're called at such a time as this. But I'd rather be in fear knowing versus being in fear blindfolded. You know what I'm saying? And not having a clue of what's really going on around me. So when I post things out there, when I put things up there, it's because I do love. So I'm trying to share. I'm trying to wake it. I want all my people to wake up. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody that's good-hearted, that's a loving being to wake up. No discrimination.
Yes.
But there's so much evil forces within, around us. Where we reside. It's like it's difficult sometimes. It's hard. In this big world, but we have to stay focused. We have to be mindful. We have to share things. We can't hoard it and hold it all to ourselves. If you get knowledge of something, share it. And that's why I don't understand, like this cryptocurrency and all this stuff. Me and Asha, we look back and we see people that knew about this before we heard about it. And it's like, what, you knew about this and you didn't say nothing, and even now you just You know, you just barely saying, "Oh, I got some," but what good is that? It's like egg in your face, like, "Oh, I got some," but it's that greedy spirit, like you said, and that selfishness. And
Mm-hmm.
two, sad part about it is that's how many of our people were brought up for some reason.
Yes.
Is that be, you know, being selfish and just not even being mindful of others. And this is why
Mhm.
these people are able to control and
That's right.
rule us like they do, because we don't see the picture. We don't go back and look at our history and see what brought us to this point, to where we're at, why our mindsets are the way they are. That's why we're constantly bickering and trying to harm and do, kill one another, because we don't see the big picture. We don't see the root of this problem, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and
Right.
Yeah.
sadly, we don't see the root of this problem. But like I said, at this time right now, when all this is going on, be mindful.
Mm.
And I'm preaching to the choir.
I love it. I don't
Walking.
know you not. You got Facebook. They all hearing you. All the black girls do crypto, y'all. Let them know.
I'm saying,
They hear you, mama.
continue to walk in love. No, I'm saying, I'm talking to myself too. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes
Hmm.
it's hard. Because
Yeah.
you get these darts thrown at you. But
Mm-hmm.
continue. That's the only thing. Like I should say, that's the only thing that's gonna bring us out. That's gonna bring us through this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're at war. We're at war with our spirit right now, and I
Right.
just hope that more people use critical thinking, use
Mm.
common sense. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't
Mm-hmm.
have common sense, so but use critical thinking. If
Thank you.
something don't sit right with you, question it.
Thank you. Thank
Don't
you.
just take the word of the man that's on the news in a three-piece suit that's sitting up there. If it
It
don't
don't
fit
sound
right,
right. Yeah.
sound right in your spirit, question it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And this is why I'm grateful that I am where I am today, because I didn't sit up there and listen to everything that somebody told me without questioning it, checking it, research, read and search, you know,
Mhm.
over and
And
over.
double search, right, Mama?
That's
That's what I'm
right.
saying. Say read and search, research, put
Mhm.
those two
Search.
together. Yeah,
I
shoot.
love it. That research.
Over and over.
That's right. Look, I love it. I just want to let you know, Asha, I'm taking your mama. she's she's my mom too now. Letting you know, she's
Uh,
amazing. I just want to say
I,
thank
I,
you so much.
you're welcome.
It's
I
just
love my
this.
people. I love people, and I really love my
Yeah,
people, because I know the struggle. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I
yes,
I know the struggle,
Yes.
and I feel the pain. I feel
Tell
that
her, mama.
pain. But
that's
Tell her,
right.
mama.
sh-
That's right.
Say that, Mama. And
I mean,
and
my
and
Japanese
I
is
don't mind sharing, because I recognize a beautiful gift when I
that
see
I'm
one.
supposed
You know
to.
what I'm saying? And like, to me, that's the energy that we all came in. Like, I'm looking for my fellow sisters and brothers. I'm looking for my loved ones. You know what I mean? And like,
Right.
if and I know the apple don't fall too far from the tree. You know what I'm saying? Like, so what I say by that is we all came from Mother Earth. You know what I'm saying? However you want to see it,
Yeah.
like the divine feminine is what brought us
Energy.
here. And
That's
so
right.
we have to give reverence and honor to that
Which
essence.
created us.
You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Yes.
Yes. And so like the call the call today again was discussing the battle for the corona. We talked about
Mm.
currency. We talked about um, the consciousness. The consciousness is just the awareness of all that's going on and not being overtaken by um, these false realities, and also about the ability within the consciousness to create your own realities, And so now we have decisions before us. We have to say, what is it that we want to see? What is it that we need? What is it that we've been working for
Mhm.
right.
so diligently,
Let's
that we
focus on.
can't just give up now. Right, we can't give up now. We can't sit down now. We can't just lose focus. We can't get distracted by the coronavirus, the pandemic, the epidemic, the social whatever. You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's got to be a recognition of what time it is and what part you'll play. And then once you make that part up in your mind, you can move forward without fear. Or I can't even say that you can move without fear, because fear is like an ever-present thing in a way because it comes from love, like Miss Ruby broke down so eloquently. Um, the it's just a propeller, you know what I mean? Like, but is it going to push you in the right direction or the wrong direction? And only you and your creator know. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, unity is most paramount at a time like
Yes.
this. You know,
Say
so like
say
it does
say
it does it does
say
no
that.
good to look at it does no good to look at somebody, especially your brother or your sister, you know what I mean, and be frowning your nose up at them or turning your nose down or
Mm.
whatever, thinking that
Mm-hmm.
you're better than, even if you have more than, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. That's right.
And because I could see right now a lot of people are going to feel comfortable by what they have. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be like, oh, yes, I'm in a great position. I'm doing wonderful. I'm glad I already know about that. Oh, I've been on the Bitcoin. They late.
Mm.
Oh, I've been on the gold. They're slow. Oh,
Really? That's
I've been
crazy.
on real estate and I got my, whatever they got. I got my bank account stacked. And when they wipe your bank account clean, what do you
Yeah.
have in your heart? What do you have in your mind? What do
Thank
you
you.
have in your
That's
soul?
right.
What will you
Mm.
be able to create? Uh, and what are you leaving for the future
Richard,
generations to come?
thank you. All right.
Not only that,
All
I
right.
want to,
Miss Nicole?
not only that, not just, when you had, you was good, and now that you don't have, you're not good. Who's gonna
Mm.
Right.
because you weren't willing to
Right.
help.
That's
So
right.
you always have to think, I have to act from love. I have to act from, my neighbor across the street may not have. Let me see if they need,
Right.
and
Can
that's
you
where
say that again? Can you say that again?
I said that you have to always think, my neighbor across the street may not have. Let me give because
Right.
your wealth comes from the blessings that you give other people, not from
So they
what.
shouldn't have to ask you? They shouldn't have
Yes.
to ask
Yes.
you.
Right.
No, no, not at all.
Yeah, isn't it evident to see when there is need? Or does it ever like occur to people like, who can I help? Why do I have so that I may help? You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
Like whether it's knowledge, information, resources, whatever it is, like why do you think
Time.
you have
Miss
time?
Asha. Miss Asha.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
sometimes we don't take a moment to slow down and think of the conversations that we've had with folks where the question was already there. The request was made in the conversation. Some
Mm.
Mm.
conversations
Yeah.
we have with people we miss the importance.
Self-absorbed.
Right.
It may not be something we can offer that we have. It could just be the time for listening
Hmm.
and to let them and not have them be acknowledged that they were heard, because that sometimes is more important than stuff to people. The fact that someone took the time out of their day to listen to them, because that
Mm.
could be the missing
Yes.
for them. What we're dealing with right now is a lot of seniors out there. Al and I just came from shopping. We had to get a couple of very crucial things. This is our last trip out. He goes back to work, and I'm going to be back here working online with everybody. But we wanted to make sure that people were good. So while we took our trip out, we made some phone calls. We called the woman that I call my godmother. So these are elders. Then there's a woman that is a client of mine who I help her with her computers, and she loves having me come out to her senior center. And the fact is, I was like, well, where's she? Where's my godmother? Where's your mother? How are you doing? Can we get mom something? Come to find out, yes, we can get mom something. She didn't have her goodies that she liked, you know? And I'm still on the phone because while we're out, who are we thinking about? Who's our focus on? Who did we hear from recently? Who haven't we heard from recently? Who hasn't heard from us recently? Because we so
Listen,
focused in here.
pardon me. That brings me to a song that came to my mind about a week ago when I found out I was going to do this show.
Mm.
And I don't even know if it's been a week, but the spirit just came to me, and I want to sing this to you guys. And I'm actually scared to sing it. You know what I mean?
What?
I'm saying like I don't normally sing, but I was told that I needed to share this, and that was the moment that provoked that thought and remembrance of this song. It was just a little hook, just want y'all to hear this, because we've all been guilty of this, what Miss Ruby said was thinking of others, which is sometimes as contrary you know what I mean, like as natural as that should seem and that should be, and that used to be our way of life, you know what I mean? That used to be the natural way of life. Like the collective communal mind was our way of life, and that was the natural thing. But now they've taught us greed, and they've taught us individualistic thinking that only concerns with self. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with to be preserving self, but the preservation of yourself is for someone else, that you may be a blessing, or you may be a light, or you may be a helping
Go ahead.
hand. You know what I'm saying? Not just so that you could
Right.
have and just, you know, hoard and keep to yourself, or just feel comfortable in that space. So let me sing this. It says, I've been a victim of selfish love, but it was you that I was thinking of. But I hope that you hear me today, 'cause I came to pass some information your way. I've been a victim of selfish love, but it was you that I've been thinking of. But I came to share some information today. I hope you listen to what I gotta say. And so that's rough, but I'm just saying, I've been a victim of selfish love. Forgive me. But it was you that I've been thinking of. I hope you hear me. What I gotta say. Came to give some love to you today. You know, just
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh,
thank
thank you for
you.
that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to thank everybody that took the time to feel the love and be a part of this love movement, like just by your presence alone. Do you know the power of this collective energy? Do you know the power of unity? And do you know the power of sharing what you have? You know, each individual has something to give. Each one of us is important, and there's none more important than the other. You know what I mean? And so, like, when we can understand that, and we can move from the center and the vortex of love, we're an unstoppable force. We're a movable force. We are the most powerful thing that they'd never seen coming. You know what I mean? Because they didn't think that we could wake up from our slumber. They didn't think that we could rise up from the dead, but we here. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, today, while you still have choice and you still have breath in your body, and you still have a consciousness that you can access, commit to being that vessel. Commit to being your highest self. Like, this is no time to shrink back or shrink down or cower down or hold off or wait or be scared of what they might think, or be scared of your truth, of the truth that's in you. You understand what I'm saying? Because like it was placed for such a time as this, and like if people don't start to open up their mouths or get that pen back out and write what thus says the Lord, or thus says the ancestors, or this says of the angels, you know what I'm saying? My divine spirit guides say this is a time too. You know what I'm saying? Like, what guidance will we have? What guidance will we have unless you come? Because you are sent, so go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Right. I say activate, y'all. Go ahead, girl.
Activate, powers. Yes,
That's right.
activate. Exactly.
That's what I'm
That's the
saying.
fun part.
That's
The
right.
good news is this is as heavy as this time is, this is going to be the best time of our lives. Okay.
Yes.
This is going to be the most exciting time of our lives. Like, so it's about the balancing of the crown chakra, and say, yes, I receive and I will keep my crown on my head. You cannot steal it. You cannot take it. You cannot destroy it. You know what I mean? Like, we want it to become like a halo to shine brighter.
That's right.
And with that light, carry us into the new world. You know what I'm saying? But like without fear. And like, because the new world is imminent. It's coming. It's on the way. Like I said, but which side are you going to be on? Are you going to be on the side of those who want to be controlled, or do you want to control and create something better, something more peaceful, something more harmonious with the nature of God or the creator or whatever? So that's what I leave you with. You know what I mean? If there's any questions, I want to ask Brother Bourne Allah to come forward and relay any questions that we might have in this last like 10 minutes. We're going to wrap before 7 because he has another show to attend to.
Absolutely.
But thank you,
Brother
and
Bourne, thank you as
for
well. Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. This has been amazing.
thank you for
I've been,
sharing it with your platform, and for
oh,
the Black
absolutely.
girls who do crypto. A shout out to you, for your power and your surge
Yeah.
and your energy and your love.
Yes.
And
Right,
to
girl.
my other guests, I'm sorry, Miss Nicole Sanders and my mother,
Yes,
Goddess
I'm
Candy
grateful and
Mayle.
thankful
Love you,
that
mama.
we
Love
had
you,
this
mama.
moment. It's
Hmm.
sad that it came on this occasion, but
It's all right. It's a good
we're
occasion.
believing in such as like
Yes. All right.
Brother
Oh,
Knowledge
yes, Brother Knowledge, did you have something to a
thank you.
question that we had?
or add.
Absolutely, Mama.
I just wanted to thank y'all for allowing me to do the job that an African man is supposed to do is stand by
Mm.
the door and make sure no intruders is supposed to be in. Okay.
Hey,
That's
If
right.
I got to go away from the
woo,
door to teach, that means that we infiltrated. You understand?
Right.
So
I
Mm-hmm.
the
say,
goddess mother says with the goddess energies in here, I don't need to say
Mm-hmm.
nothing but thank you to you all. And
Yeah.
hopefully I should come back again, you know what I'm saying, and bring y'all
oh,
with
I'm
us so I
here.
can just go by the door. I can just go by the door and protect the door.
That's
Okay.
right. Thank you so much, Brother
I
Knowledge.
give thanks.
You brother.
I
Definitely give
do
thanks
I
to you,
do
brother.
I do would think like before y'all go, let people know where they can find you, how they can tune in and tap
Oh,
into with you, Sister Ruby, what y'all got
yeah.
going on. Please don't go
Awesome.
without giving y'all commercial.
Of
Okay.
course, of course.
So,
Well, like I said, you have blackgirlsdocrypto.info, which, by the way, is going on right now. Just register and hop into the conversation. Then there's pennies2gold.info. Pennies2gold.info is a cryptocurrency workshop that's free for anybody who would like to join us. So go register for free tonight because we have a class tomorrow night, and we are going to be showing people how to get it done live. Like I said, education
Hey,
with application, baby, always. In our community is no more conversation. Like they say, documentation beats conversation anytime. So we make it happen. The other thing is
Man, everybody
we have a
do it.
men's group going on right now, and it's awesome. It's the gold, it's goldencoinkings.com. I have to be very careful with that. Goldencoinkings.com. And don't forget, if you come into that room, you have to be male. That's one of them. And two, you got to let them know Miss Ruby sent you. Sister Ruby
I know
sent you.
that's right.
Otherwise, they'll be welcoming you and letting you know what's going down because we creating finances and changing things physically in this world.
Today.
That's so much. Yes, exactly. In the actual. Okay. So that's where you're gonna find me or Ruby Thomas on Facebook. Connect to me, friend me, so I can friend you and we can get it moving. All right, and thank you for that.
Thank you, Miss Ruby. Sister Nicole Sanders, my personal financial advisor, without a license, but she's got wisdom
I love it.
from the
Yes.
spirit
I am
that
not your financial advisor. I am not a financial advisor. You tell people that.
Don't get that girl in
Mm,
trouble, Asha.
I'm messing. I'm messing.
I love
But
it. I
yes,
love it.
so
I just deal with Miss Ray's and Mama Candy Mayle. So don't call me talking about some. Hey, Asha Rae told me that you were a financial advisor. Don't y'all get me in no trouble.
she only
But
receives
I can be
gold and Bitcoin as payment.
That's right. You
right. That's right.
got that right.
I can be found on Facebook. Nicole Sanders on Facebook. Yes. Miss Asha
Thank you
Rae.
so
Miss
much,
Asha Rae,
Nicole.
where can we find you?
Yes,
Welcome.
you can find me I'm just kidding. You can find me everywhere where love is radiating. You know what I mean? Like and I'm
Yes.
just a phone call away. You know,
Oh,
really I could be found on Facebook under Asha Rae, ASHARAE, Asha Rae. I do have 2 pages, so don't be alarmed. It's not a scam. It's not
I
a
got you,
hacker
ladies.
page. I have Asha Rae or Asha Rae Mayle. Both of those are active pages where I can be reached. I am on Instagram, Ms. MZ, Asha Rae. And last but not least, my phone number is 470-303-7256. 1312 470-303-1312. I love to network and politic and build with those who are building. And I love to share information. And if you need more information or you'd like to connect with any of these ladies, feel free to reach out to me. And Mother, how can you be reached?
Uh,
You can reach me on Facebook. Other than that, you can be. I'm not world renowned, but you can reach me on
yes, you
Facebook.
are.
Said true. Said
If
Live.
if you want to be reachable, if
I know
you
that's right.
you can reach out to me. And
Mhm.
I've always had open arms, and much love to the people. That's all. But
Aww. I love
this is
it. And Brother Born
been
Allah, do the knowledge
this has
radio.
been an experience.
Everybody
Oh,
can
what it,
find me here. I'm here. I'm here every day. Every day, like they used to say, every day I'm here. Every day, a couple
Every
times
day.
a day. I definitely want to
Okay.
invite everybody back on. I definitely want you to be able to share your stories, your experiences, to the sisters who want to educate our sisters in crypto. We got some places for y'all to be. We got some platforms for y'all to come on. Like there are a lot
Okay.
of people who are in need. So if y'all want to be of service, if y'all want to spread your
Absolutely.
information, if y'all want
Definitely.
to tell them about this golden opportunity that y'all
Yes.
working with,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
y'all just let me know. There's places and people and spaces. They are making space for this
Hmm.
ascension.
Okay.
Otherwise, it'll be
Hey.
like the
That's what I
challenger.
like to hear. Okay.
If y'all remember the challenger, y'all remember the challenger.
That's
Um,
right.
I grew up in the Islamic society. It was like, who are you challenging? So when you say stuff
Mm,
like challenger, and
that's
when you
right.
say stuff like Titanic, the unsinkable ship, who are you
Hey.
issuing a challenge to, and who will answer
Too.
your call? This is the time that we are living in. Okay. Will you answer the
Okay.
call? Will you stand up to be challenged, or will you be the unsinkable ship that went down? So
Oh no.
Mm.
this sister
None of
right
that.
here said protect your head, protect your crown, protect your ori,
You
program your
darn right.
head,
That's right.
and take advantage of these opportunities. So salute to everybody, and y'all can find me here every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Got
And stand on post, family. Stand on
you.
post.
Hmm.
Be who you
That's right.
are. Do not block your light for anyone, and do not
Mm-mm.
be afraid to shine brighter. It's time to turn it up, stay lit, whatever you want to call it. Turn down for what? You know what I mean? Like turn yourself all the way up for real.
That's right.
Like the world must hear you, and the world must know that we are here, and we are seriously on a movement, and the movement is love. And so if you're about that movement, get in contact with one of us ASAP. Peace and love to everybody. Stand firm, stand strong, and do not be afraid. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing to fear
Hmm.
except for really except for fear itself. Because if you love and you love yourself, you know that you will be protected. You know that you'll be guided, and you know that you will find your tribe. So I wish you love and
Peace.
prosperity. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody tell you that prosperity is not for you. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
you could be prosperous in this time, even in the midst of chaos and calamity. You can be prosperous, but it
Yes.
starts with that crown. Starts with being prosperous in your heart and your mind and your soul. Because even if you have nothing, you are still wealthy if you have those things. So thank you again.
Yes,
Peace.
All right.
you are. Alrighty.
Till next time. Same time,
This
same place.
Yeah.
Crypto,
right.
Black women in crypto. At what time?
Black Girls Do Crypto is actually taking right place right now. You're welcome to hop in and get into the conversation. We're going to be continuing for the next hour. And will be blackgirlsdocrypto.info. Go ahead and register and hop on and introduce yourselves to the ladies. All righty. They're actually texting me right now. So
And
they're
Okay.
having
and
Peace.
trouble. So I
listen,
want to make sure that it goes. Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and everyone, every Sunday, 5 to 7:30. And you come on and enjoy yourself. Men, if you like that link, I'll make sure you get on the goldencoinkings.com. Y'all hop on. They're on right now too. I'll talk
Thank
to
you,
you
Miss
soon
Ruby.
every Sunday. Thank you very much. I love you.
Love you
Thank you,
too.
Miss Asha.
Love you too, Miss Ruby.
Thank you, Miss Nicole. Goddess Nicole, I appreciate you.
Love you guys.
Love
you
you.
guys. Nice meeting you, Miss.
And yep, she's gone for now. But thank you, Mother. We'll talk to you soon. Peace and have a great evening.
All right, you too.
Brother Bourne, thank you again for this opportunity. We couldn't have did it without you. And I look forward to being back at them again. It'll be Sunday, but I definitely don't want to conflict with Miss Ruby, so we'll get the time together and flyers will be sent out via my page, via all social media platforms. Peace to the ancestors, and thank you. We out.
Ain't nothing like a woman. One time for the ladies in the place. Ain't nothing like a woman. I just smile every time I see your face. Ain't nothing like a woman. One time for the queens, Mother Earth. Ain't nothing like a woman. Cause a real man puts women first. Ain't nothing like God of the planet, ruler, mother of the earth. Birth man from your womb, God bless you for the earth. Beauty of the definition of it all shit. My empress of the moon, crown glory I sit. My night turn to day when you come around me. You hold a brother down and make me feel okay. You ain't got to be a supermodel slim figure. I love you as you are, you can be a little bigger. I can see your light shining bright from within. I can see divinity, I see it in your grin. Ain't nothing pretty brown skin, picture perfect goddess to the world, use a 10. Heaven in your eyes, thick thighs, big hips. A heart full of gold, pretty feet, wide hips. I love the way you talk, hear the words of an angel. Keep your head high, never let the world change you. Like a woman. One time for the ladies in the place. Ain't nothing like a woman. I just smile every time I see your face. Ain't nothing like a woman. One time for the queens, Mother Earth. Ain't nothing like a. Cause a real man puts women first. Ain't nothing like a head roller, finger snapping, love you at a toe. Dedicated loving, I'm just showing gratitude. I love the way you walk, love your talk, love it all. I love your imperfections and all your little flaws. Your mispronounced words being heard so beautiful. I just want to kiss you from your head to your cuticles. Take your heels off, let your back rest, girl. I can give a hell about your flat chest, girl. You ain't gotta be what others say that you ought to be. Every man was born from a woman, you were part of me. Hair did, nails did, love it when they ain't. Give me good love and make a brother just bank. You ain't got to wear weave, you can rock it natural. Take your perm out, still pretty, that's factual. Bad to the bone, got a throne for you to sit. You my number one song, going gold. You ain't nothing like a woman. One time for the ladies in the place. Ain't nothing like a woman. I just smile every time I see your face. Ain't nothing like a woman. One time for the queens, Mother Earth. Ain't nothing like a woman. Cause a real man puts women first. Ain't nothing like a light-skinned woman. Ain't nothing like a brown-skinned woman. Ain't nothing like a dark-skinned woman. Ain't nothing like an overweight woman. Got something I can hold on to. I just wanna put a hold on you. Ain't nothing like a good-looking woman. Ain't nothing like a good-cooking woman. Ain't nothing like you.